Alright, well this is Gus, and this is my modified Cold Steel Paradox. Wait a minute, am I zoomed in? I probably am zoomed in. There we go, oh, one more. Okay, perfect. That's my Cold Steel Paradox. It's been modified, and we're gonna modify that one there to be this. But I think I might try something different. Instead of actually modifying it to be completely free battle song, because once you stick this in your pocket, it opens up, and I actually kind of jabbed myself the other day, and I was like, ow, that hurt. So, and to modify a battle song, or the Paradox into a battle song, you have to pull back on these springs. You have to pull back on those springs to where they're flush like this, because the actual, oh, let me grab the safe side. The actual blade pulls that spring back, and that's what keeps it in. You know, I mean, you go like this and you pop it out, and then the same thing here, and you pull it, and then there it is. But I like battle songs. I really do. But this is a really cool knife, because I mean, but it's stupid that you can't just pop it open one-handed without having to fling it across, because for using like utilitarian purpose, I don't even know if that's a real word, for like cutting boxes or whatever, it'll be really hard for you just to flick it open and then flick it closed, and then say you do that and it slips out of your hand and you stab your partner in the leg, or worse, or just whatever. I don't know, I'm gonna mess with it, but it'll probably end up being a full free battle song. And we're just gonna take these screws out, and I will be right back. Alright, now as you can see, I've already cut this light off. I've already taken the screws out. Right side, left side. And then here's the Paradox. So, it's like that. Those screws come out. These are tops. And just do that. Alright, now taking these out. Oh, that's a good reflector. Okay. And pull this blade out. You see those little washers there? That's how big you want to make it. So I'm gonna color that in real quick, and that's what I'm gonna shave off. Be right back. Alright. Now it's colored in. That's what I wanna do. I wanna trim off the black. The little black edges. I wanna trim that off. And that's as much as I'm gonna cut off. You don't want to cut any more off, because it'll just destroy the blade, and then you're in trouble. Alright, I'll be right back. Oh, and we want to, sorry for shaking this, people. We want to trim this one down to about right there. Why? Because when you close it, that will prevent it from closing, because it'll hit this part here, and since it doesn't have the actual springs to hold it back in, it's not going to work. I'll be back in a minute. Alright, something else that I did, come on. And now I pulled the springs back just a little bit. Oh crap, why am I zooming in? I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, this one on the right, I'm going to do a little bit more. This one is just the where I want it. I'm just going to bend this one back just a little bit that way. That way. Alright. Alright. Now we're talking. It's exactly where I want it. That one right there. Where it's just enough out. You can kind of see the where the ring was at. That one's a little bit too far. I'm actually going to bend this back a little bit. I want to bend it back about right there. It's a lot of fine tuning, but it's doable. I mean, you can do it yourself, or you know what? I'm in the business of doing things. If you want to send it to me, I'll definitely do it. Won't charge you much, by about 30 bucks. You got to pay for the shipping though. I'm not going to gouge you on making it, but you got to pay for your own shipping to and back. Or you can just buy the knife directly from me for, I'll do it for 90 bucks. So we go from there. Alright, be right back. Alright, well, since we got this horrible glare, I went on and grinded it down. Now the blade flows freely around. Boom! Some of y'all were talking about no tank pins. Well, there is no tank pins, but that there acts like a tank pin. That's going to prevent it from from going any farther than what it is. So, I'm thinking about moving this one. I'm thinking about moving this one out a little bit more. This one in also. I took off quite a bit, but I didn't take it all the way down to the row, to where I had the washers at. Keeps just the integrity of the blade stronger if it's longer. These springs will hold off just fine. Let me tune it up a little bit. I'll be right back. All right. Well, wait a minute. I have no one to help me hold these my camera, so I'm doing this by myself. Let me zoom. Don't lose the pins. There we go. If you drop those pins, whatever. But if you don't have anything to hold them down, there. Now it flows perfectly without. Oh well, maybe just a little bit. I'm gonna grind that down a little bit more. This one here is exactly how you want it. Free flowing, and it's still got enough blade to where it won't touch, where it won't, where it won't. God dang it, freaking English. Mi español no tu bueno. Would actually have an integrity of the blade where it doesn't break the blade, or it's still strong enough to be functional and usable. Because if you take off too much, well then, if you take off too much, you're SOL in better terms. Be right back. All right, without blinding you, sorry. Now it doesn't touch. Just barely touches, but that's not gonna. It's not gonna bother it, because you want more blade. You don't want less blade, because if you have less blade, then you end up breaking the knife and then hurting yourself. Perfect. Perfect. Just the way I want it. Alright, I'm going to assemble it together and I'll be right back. I have someone holding the camera, thank you. Alright, this is the new blade. It is completely free flowing, doesn't have the little edges. So you can actually flick, thank you Dave, flick it around. And it's really smooth. Something you don't want to do is over tighten these screws here, because they're Torx screws. I'll leave right there. There we go. Now we're zooming. Ah, you bastard. Work for me, camera. Anyways, you don't want to over tighten those screws, because then you'll be like, oh, it's not a free-flowing balisong. Well, you over tighten them. Crease your moving parts, and then that's it. Your Paradox is now a real balisong, what it should have been a long time ago. What it should have always been, like the awesome Archangel. Anywho, all right, guys, check it out. Thank you very much.